Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. This is the midweek show. This is the Love Center. We are here in the middle of the week, and guess who's with me?
Hi, good evening, everybody. It's good to be back. Thank you all for tuning in
Been a
to our
couple of
Bible
weeks.
studies tonight.
Been a couple of weeks.
It
You've been
has.
you've been on vacation and been away, so we appreciate First Lady being with us on tonight. So it's been a little while for her, and we're just glad to have her back with us on tonight. Want you to go ahead and share this. Want you to go ahead and tell somebody that the Love Center midweek show is on the air, and we are delighted to be with you on tonight. This whole series for this next 30 days, I've entitled it very simple. It's the Love Chronicles with Bishop and Lady Smith, and it's all about love, and it's going to be real talk, going to be real conversation. We really want to help some people and show them the value of love beyond, I guess, the way that they've been doing it. I've heard a lot, and it hasn't exactly lined up to, I think, what most folks signed up for. I think, I think some folks want a refund on what they bought, and but we're going to really get into it. So I want everybody, we're going to take a few minutes. I want you all to share this. I want you to pull some people on. We're going to have a real engaging conversation on tonight. I think you all are going to really enjoy it. We're going to be really candid. We're going to share some things, and we're going to use our relationship to really kind of help you all. And we're also going to take some questions, and we're going to listen to some statements, and it's going to be a real good show on tonight. It's going to be a real good show on tonight. Thank you so much, Deacon William. Good to be back. Good to be back.
We have our family in South Carolina online.
I appreciate them. They are on tonight, and appreciate my son. My son said the best duo right here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So go ahead. We want you to take a few minutes. We want you to share this. We want you to really put it out there. It's going to be really good. I got a lot to say, and this is going to be real unconventional than most folks' Bible study. It's going to be really unconventional. So let me just do a precursor before we even get started. If you super spiritual, if you levitate off the ground, if your whole life is, you just sackcloth and ashes, okay, you may want to log off. You may want to log off. This may not be for you. You may want to, just kind of, go in your prayer closet and just pray. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what we are doing on tonight is to really have a really engaging conversation about love in relationship, and how we look at it and how we function, what makes our love good, and how we can help some other people. So again, so share it. I think this is going to be real good. I think y'all are going to really enjoy this. It's going to be a really great conversation. First Lady, greet the people. You've been gone for so long. Folks been asking about you, and they want you to come back because they missed their First Lady.
Well, I'm back. I had a nice sabbatical, and it feels good to be back. And I'm glad that you all are tuning in with us tonight. I believe we do have a lot to share and to offer advice from a different perspective, because I don't know what's going on in the world today as it relates to love and marriage, but I do believe that we have something genuine that we could offer the singles and the married folks.
Absolutely.
Not saying
Absolutely.
that what
Absolutely.
we say is the end all be all and that we know everything, but we've been through a lot together. We've been together for 18 years, married for 16 years, and we have a lot of real life experiences, I think, that we could speak to and share for others to glean from.
Absolutely. I want to start off by saying this. For those of you that are inspiring to be married, and for those of you that are married now, I want to start off by saying this. I would tread lightly gaining or listening to people who you don't see the value of their comments, whatever they're saying, whatever advice that they're giving you. Don't take advice from somebody who you don't see that advice playing out in their own life.
I agree.
That's
I
first and
agree.
foremost. Not everybody. Let me say this. Not everybody has a right to speak into your life. And not everybody has the wisdom to be able to speak into your life. Not
And
everybody has the experience to
and
speak into
not
your
only
life.
that, everybody's not just not that they don't have a right to speak into your life. Everybody's not qualified to speak
No,
into your life.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Um, there's a lot of people who have a lot to say, and they are great conversationalists. But what makes the value of their comments worthwhile or to add value to an individual's life is when they themselves can live out the
Hmm.
very truth or comments or statements that they're saying.
Hmm.
You can't tell somebody something that you ain't doing. Hello, you can't. You can't tell another man go home and love his wife when he look at you and he can't see how you love yours.
That's true. You cannot.
You
You
can't.
cannot.
You can't. You can't tell another man go home and of your house and he don't see that in your life. You can't. You can't. And you can only fool some of the people some
Some
of
of
the
the
time.
times, yes.
You see, at sometimes folks are gonna be looking at you cockeyed because they gonna know really.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful
Yeah,
who you listen to and
yeah,
who you take advice from.
yeah. Just no. Just no. Just
Just no,
just
huh?
no.
Just
Just
like
no.
that.
Just no. No. It just no. Um, I think, and I agree.
Absolutely. The talk does not match the walk. Yes, that's
Hmm.
what we're saying.
Indeed, indeed. You just at some point, if you're going to, if I give you the privilege to share in my life and to talk into my life, then my expectation is, well, at least you do what you tell me to do.
Right.
I mean, I think that's safe. Do y'all agree? Y'all agree out there? If you're gonna tell me to do something, then you do what you tell me to do.
Yeah, you can't have the blind leading the blind.
Well,
You cannot. And that's what that is. If you're trying to give me advice that you're not taking yourself or you don't have the experience to speak to it.
wow. Um, and certainly there are many people out there who they do that. They have this wonderful ability to speak to everybody's situation, but yet your own life is a wreck. I don't understand. I don't understand. First lady, help me to understand that everybody out there has all of this wonderful advice to offer, but then your own life is a shambles.
I believe that's because everybody is so stuck on the perception of what others think, which it really shouldn't matter what others think. And I think that's why we're so quick to give advice, even when our situation is basically in a shamble or falling apart, is because we don't want others to see the things that we're going on and we're not being transparent about it.
Yeah. Well, I want y'all to go ahead and tag a friend, share this, because it's gonna get good. It's gonna get good tonight. Here's the first thing I want to do. Here's the first thing I want to do. Um, what we're going to do there are some things that I'm going to play because I want the saints to see certain things because here's a couple of things I'm concerned with, and everyone knows that I have this great responsibility, in the church, in the kingdom, and I take a lot of pride in my position in church, and you know how I feel
Absolutely, yes.
about my responsibility. I'm very sincere about it. However, when I'm at home, tell them, and you don't have to, don't pull words, don't cover anything. Be truthful with them,
I
because
am.
I think I don't know what that meant. Well, I find out what is she getting ready to say. um, uh, I now thank you, darling. She Tracy said she said
Thank you, Lady
I
Tracy.
like the Adidas. um, so tell them, bishop in the church, um, bishop of bishops. But when I'm at home, who am I at home?
When we're at home, he's Tyrone at home. I can say that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not Bishop at home. So
Do
there's
I do I do you call me bishop at home?
I do not call him Bishop at home,
You
and I
better
am
not.
not going to call him
You
Bishop
better
at
not.
at home. This is our home, and we know, and I also know, where the draw the lines are. There's a time and a place for everything, and when we're at home, I get Tyrone, and I know when to address and to speak to Bishop, and I know when to address and speak to Tyrone. And
Absolutely.
when we're at home, that's what I get. I don't get
Absolutely.
all the church and everything else. I get the man that I fell in love with. And I didn't fall in love with Bishop. I knew he was a pastor at the time, but that's not who I fell in love with. That's his assignment. But I fell in love with Tyrone Smith. And that's what I get when I'm at home.
And
And
does
that's
it
what
matter?
I,
Does that
and
matter as a first
absolutely
lady?
it
As a first
matters.
lady, does it matter as a woman married to a man in ministry? Does it matter that there is clear lines
It
that
has to be.
when I'm in church, we're in church, and there is the dignity and the honor of the office.
Yes.
But when we are at home, we are exclusively who we are at home, unapologetic. We are loving, we frisky, we all of
All of
that.
the
We
above.
all of that. We are all of that. Does it matter?
Yes, it does matter for several reasons because being in ministry, we could talk about this all day long. There's so much that comes along with it. And when you are in ministry, whenever you come away from the church home, you want to, there's just certain things within the sanctity of your house that you deserve to have because of the stress and the pressure that comes along with ministry. You got to know how not to cross pollinate the two at times.
So, okay, so let's come away from church
Yes.
and let's talk to those who work regular jobs. Okay? Does it matter that when you do the 8 hours or with the 10 hours or whatever you do at work and you come home, does it matter that there is a cutoff? When I come home, we're home. We're home. You're not, you shouldn't be in competition with my job.
That's true.
Just like as a man of God, I do not put my wife in competition with my church or my call. No, 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 no. My wife never has to wonder, do I choose between the two? No, no,
Never.
no, 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 no. I'm very clear. I have a responsibility that God has called me to, and I'm true to it. But I also have a responsibility to her. I picked her. I chose her. The yes pay attention, the yes that I gave to God was the exact same yes that I said at the altar when I married this woman. And the same way I had to learn in ministry, I had to learn in marriage.
Yes.
The moment, and let me speak to both sides, the moment you stop learning in ministry, you become irrelevant. The moment you stop learning in marriage, you become irrelevant. And the reason why many times the marriages are sour is because folks stop learning.
Yes.
They stop learning.
They get too comfortable.
Yeah, they get real comfortable. And I'm going to talk about that comfort in a second. Because let me tell you some of the comforts that make marriage hard. When we dated, okay, and in most cases, when you all dated, there was a great emphasis that you brothers, you would go get a tight cut. You make sure if you had beard or whatever, you make sure you were groomed. You had on the right scent. You had on the right drip. You made sure your thing was right because you was going to see your girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. See, you wasn't going to see her without your drip turned all the way up. Because you knew you want to make sure that the only dude that she was looking at was you. But the moment that you got married, you turned the faucet off and now it ain't no drip. It ain't no drip. You don't put on no cologne. Your hair's crazy. Your beard is crazy. Your teeth is crazy. You don't put no emphasis, and vice versa.
That's
Ladies,
true.
Listen, talk to them. Tell them that it's important that when you came to see me and you had your hair done, your lips done, your makeup was beat. Yes. You see, and you made sure that I ain't gonna say the stuff I want to say. Thank you, Jesus. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me. Now you was nice. I'm gonna be nice.
Thank you.
You was nice. I'm gonna be nice.
Yeah, but I made sure I put extra effort into every time that I knew I was going to see him or he was coming to see me. And I want to double back to what you were saying about, how the spouse can feel or your significant other sometimes feel like they're in competition. So when we said yes to each other, and although you were a pastor, and I'm going to say this, even with, you working your job and you coming home, we all have assignments, but the yes that you have to own up to your part of it, and you have to know how to balance it. Absolutely. Just like we're in ministry and that's your full-time job and I'm your wife. I'm priority as well. And just like the next person that may not be in ministry but working, and it doesn't matter how tiring your job is, you have to make sure that your spouse or significant other does not feel like they are coming second. It's your responsibility to balance your time. It doesn't matter how much you're being pulled on. It doesn't matter how many hours a day you work. Your spouse should always feel like they have your undivided attention.
So watch this. Now I'm gonna help a brother. I'm gonna help somebody right here. Now you tell me if I'm wrong. A lady, a woman, your girl, however you categorize it. See, everyone knows that First Lady is my wife, but you always hear me call her my girl. And here is the theology and the psychology behind it. I've learned a long time ago, my problem was, and in most cases, you put more emphasis on her when she was your girl. Now that she's your wife, you don't put as much emphasis into the relationship. So to keep me on the edge of always being at my best, I married my wife, but I'm going to forever date my girl.
Right.
That's how I embrace it. So I know that because she's my girl, there's certain things I'm not gonna do. See, I'm living with my girl. I'm paying bills with my girl. I'm raising my children with my girl. Now, when I do it with the respect that she's my girl. Let me tell you what I mean. Because she's my girl, here's what I do. When I go to bed, I don't go to bed smelling like I've been outside for 29 days straight.
Well,
Because when she was your girl, when she was your girl, I don't, if you would get it now again, if you really holy, you may want to log off because we get ready to cross over. Because when you was getting ready to sleep with her, when she wasn't your wife, you made sure your breath was right, your fragrance was right, because you knew that I'm with my girl. I'm with my girl. Now, Destin, how do you know that that's facts?
I know.
You gotta listen. My son is on there. He in the chat talking about facts. How do you know facts? I know you watching, but how do you know that that's facts? You got to watch your children.
They're watching.
And I'm giving them something to watch because I am teaching my sons how to be men and to love their potential wives. You cannot expect your child to do something that you've never ever developed and or taught.
Mm-hmm.
And if you leave the streets to be the teacher, you may not get the best instruction that's good for them.
That's so true. So true.
That's So we gotta get back to how it was. That it is sad we dated better than we are doing marriage. That's really sad. When your dating game is better than your marriage game, something is seriously wrong.
It is.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong when your wife felt better when you dated her than when you married her. So then John said, so the same way you got her is the same way you got to keep her. Listen, John, I'm telling you, you're telling the truth, because what happened to all the stuff that you did that was worth getting her, and now all of a sudden, now you don't do nothing. You do nothing. How do you do that? And now this is really going to hit a nerve, and I'm trying to hit every nerve. You expect your wife, your girl, your chick, whatever, to feel some kind of way about you, but she watch you get amped up about a basketball game and a football game. But you don't realize that in all of the excitement that you put in, let me tell you what we do. We get everything together so we can watch the game. We put everything out so we can watch the game. Sherman, it's good to see you. Glad you're on. But then you get amped up. You all this emotion. You watching the game, and it's everything. Do you know you don't get that excited about her? And she's watching. She watches how you get all amped up about the game. You get all enthusiastic about the game. And then watch this. And then you put on everything to go to work. You don't even do that when it's time for you to be with your wife.
But a lot of people don't think about that.
I certainly do.
They don't think about that. And it's those simple things that we would do before, now that means the world to me. the things that you did to keep me or to get me in the beginning. Now those small things, I mean, if it's just a walk in the park, just the
Y'all better
smallest
listen.
things mean so much
Y'all
after you
better
get
listen.
married.
Y'all better listen. First lady, tell them that that phone call in the middle of the day means a lot.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward to hearing my husband's voice, even if it's nothing but if he calls just to say, "Hey, baby, I'm just calling to check on you just to see how your day is going." That means the world to me. And I look forward to my calls or either to my emails. And every single day, if we don't speak before I get off of work, we exchange emails. So I look forward to hearing from him in some way, form, or fashion or another because it just does something to me. It just makes my day. I can be experiencing a bad day and I get a text from him, not a text, but a voicemail or email from him. And it just basically just changes my whole work shift. And those are the things that I look forward to. It's not a lot, but it's just the simple things that you learn to appreciate with your mate. And it's up to you to
Absolutely.
find out what those things are.
Ooh, it's up to, wait a minute, don't go too fast. It's up to your mate
Yes,
to find out what are those little things
yes,
that make the mate feel
a
good.
certain way. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, so are you suggesting that there's a possibility you might not know what all those little things are?
That's right, but you have to be willing to put in the work to find it out. If you really, really love your mate and value your relationship and your
Mm-hmm.
marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go searching. If you don't know, you're going to put in the work, the necessary work that it takes, no matter how long it takes or how much effort it takes. You're going to put in the work so that you know that your mate is happy and your mate
What?
is fulfilled.
Why did we do that when we was dating? That
Because you wanted your
we
mate to feel a certain way.
if you holy, you may want to log off. In most cases, we did all that stuff because we wanted some stuff.
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
too. That
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because see, you knew the more you hunted, the worth came with the prize. But now you don't hunt no more. And now she don't feel like she's a prize. Now, in most cases, male and female,
Mm-hmm.
where they felt like the prize worth winning, now they feel like the burden that comes along with you in life.
Mm, that's good. And that's what opens the door to outside affairs and
Stuff.
relationships stuff.
That's stuff. It just stuff. So look. So John says, we as men forget that with all that is going on in our lives as men go through, we forget that we still had to remember the love you showed her before all the mess came in our lives. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Tracy, very simple. It's just the little things. It's just the little things. Somehow, some way, the little things have now gotten away.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotten away. And we don't realize that even with the Bible said it is the little foxes
Mm-hmm.
that destroy
Joy
the
is divine.
vine.
Yes.
It is typically not the big things that are causing you the greatest anguish. It is a culmination of little things or an accumulation of little things that now bring this issue. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at some point, so let me use the analogy of a car. Let me use a car. So we get in the car and we drive the car, and when we get in the car, we're driving. While we're driving, there's this whole dashboard, there's this whole instrument panel, and it has all of these different types of lights to tell you different things about your car.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get in, you crank it up, and the first thing you see is a yellow light. The yellow light suggests that there's something
Mm-hmm.
that you need to take a look at.
That's right.
But let me tell you how and what we do in life as it pertains to love, you will see a yellow light in the love that y'all have
And ignore it.
and ignore it, thinking it's going to go away. The light is going to go off by itself. You don't, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to sit here and hope that even though we don't even touch one another, I'm just hoping that one day is she just going to reach over and she just going to throw her tongue down my throat. Really? That's what you think? That's what you think. When she watch you be more excited about going to work than you are about coming home.
That's a problem.
Really. When he sees that you put it on when you go to work, and you then come home and just absolutely walk around in the raggediest of rags that you could possibly find in your closet, but you want him to treat you like you sexy. Did it ever occur to you that the sexy feeling that used to make him feel some kind of way, you are giving that to your job? You're not giving that to him.
Mm-hmm.
So how does he expect to now feel like, well, I want to come on to you? It's hard to come on to you with a do-rag on and an old t-shirt that you used to clean your dog with. How do you expect him to feel like he's going to be drawn to you? And so John says, Bishop, if we keep it real, this is also up to the women that you are dating. Don't forget how they used to dress. This is just what I said. Dress sexy, smelling sexy, looking sexy. Now they have a man. She stopped doing attraction things that kept me or my mate interested. And that's what I was saying. Because if you want him to react, you gonna have to proact.
That's what I was about to say, Bishop. I believe if both parties
Absolutely.
participate
Absolutely.
and are excited about it and doing it on purpose, I don't think it would be that much of an issue.
If somebody at some point, somebody's got to look at the panel, somebody's got to see that the light is on, and somebody's got to take responsibility and say, know what? We ain't going no further. We're going to take this baby to the shop.
Not I'll address it later, but we need to address it right now, because if you do not address it at that point in time, it's going to manifest even bigger issues. And at that time, it may be a little harder to address depending on what that issue is. So it would serve you better if you address the issues that you may be facing in your relationship earlier on.
Absolutely.
It makes the maintenance a lot easier.
And using the car analogy, sometimes the yellow light is just an oil change, but you mess around, you keep driving it, the oil change gonna need a whole new engine. See, so at some point, let's slow down here. Let's slow down and let's take a look at what the issues really are. This is Love Chronicles. This is what Love Chronicles is. This is what it is. This is what it is. And so Lady Tracy said, keyword, you have to want to do it. Make the effort. Oh, well, that's absolutely. You've got to do that.
That's why I said it has to be done on purpose.
On purpose.
On purpose.
So here's what I want to do. I want to take a commercial break here. I want to take a commercial break. And I want to stimulate you a little bit further, because see, one of the things that I do is, if you all had a chance to look at last week's show, I told you that when I'm at home, I love R&B music. I love it. I love songs. I love them. And when I'm at home, I'm not, walking around the house listening to Todd Delaney all day. I can tell you that right now. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I'm telling you, I don't. I really don't. I don't. Listen very carefully. I listen to music that stimulates the love that I want with my wife. And don't fool yourself. All worship music don't do that. As a matter of fact, worship music puts you in the mood to be more worshipful unto him.
Yes.
But when I want to be worshipful with her, I don't listen. Listen, to be careful. I don't listen to Kirk Franklin. I don't. I promise you I don't. So got a question here. Bishop, what do you do when they tell you, if you want me to keep up that look, you pay for it? Okay. All right. Here's how I address that. I ain't never had a problem with paying for it. Now I'm just talking from because see, here's what women need to really understand about the whole paying for this look. No man who wants to have a prize is not going to have a problem investing in making the prize look good, because when she look good,
you look good.
I look good.
That's right.
And when she looks good, it attracts me to her. But what you're not going to do is throw it in my face as if to say, well, I ain't going to do nothing, because if you want it that way, then you're going to have to make it that way. Well, what was you doing before I came? And how come when it comes to everybody else outside the house, you don't mind putting that level of investment in? But now when I want you to look a certain way, now there's this whole, well, you're going to have to pay to go get my nails done, my feet done, my hair done, my face beat. But you don't have no other problem. See, that type of conversation actually is an indicator that there's something else wrong in the relationship. Because there's no way she's going to throw that at you like that unless there's something else wrong. And typically there's some other stuff that we need to address before we get there. Mm-hmm. There's some other stuff that we need to address. So this is what I want to do. I want to take a commercial break. Listen, y'all share this. This is the midweek show of the Love Center, and we are in our topic for these next few weeks. And it's really just simply, it's basically, as I could put it, it's called Love Chronicles. It's Love Chronicles. I want you to share this, pull somebody in, and let them know that we're having an engaging conversation about love. And I want somebody to really be blessed during this time. So y'all come right back. I'm going to allow you to see this, and then we're going to come right back, and we're going to go a little further. Want to go a little further?
Yes.
Let's go a little further. We'll be right back.
God instituted marriage before he instituted the church. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. The two shall become one flesh. It is clear that God has brought you all together on the occasion of your 15th anniversary. But man without God is but dust.
Holy Ghost, I'm so grateful, God, you know you did the most when you created her for me, Lord, you know I have witnessed your glory, all this favor you showed me. When you gave it to me, I had to learn what to do with your blessing. Now I know that a man who findeth the wife finds a good thing. So every time I think of her, I'm thanking you. And when I give my love to her, I'm thanking you. Loving her like Christ loved the church, 'cause you told me to. love, I'm just thanking you. When I think of her, I'm just thanking you. When I give her love, I'm just thanking you. Married and in love, I'm just thanking you. Song of Solomon, chapter 8. Read it to me, tell me what it says. I know that you don't make mistakes, so if it's in the book, then it must be okay to love her. No, I'm not ashamed, I won't shy away. I know I was made to love her. God give me grace, and I hope that every night feels like a wedding night. I pray, oh yeah. Yes, a man who findeth a wife finds a good thing. So every time I think of her, I'm thanking you. And when I give my love to her, I'm thanking you. Loving her like Christ loved the church, 'cause you told me to. Yeah, she a missy of your glory. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm worthy, but I'm under your covenant, so I ain't worried. I'm just thanking you. I don't understand why we can't talk about being in love with the one he gave us. He know what he was doing, 'cause she was his greatest creation. So I hope that you don't mind when I testify the way I do. So when I think about loving her, I just wanna thank you. And when I give my love to her, I'm thanking you. Loving her like Christ loved the church, 'cause you told me to. Yeah, she a missy of your glory. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm worthy, but I'm under your covenant, so I ain't worried. I'm just thanking you. When I think of her, I'm just thanking you. When I give her love, I'm just thanking you. Married and in love, I'm just thanking you. When I think of her, I'm just thanking you. When I give her love, I'm just thanking you. Married and in love, I'm just thanking you.
You know, I was talking to one of my youngins, and he asked me, "How did you know April? Like, why her? Why did you pick her? Why her?" And I was just like, I'm comfortable enough to show my flaws, motivated enough to fix them, and inspired enough to create a love that is flawless.
Wow. Wow. That's Isaac Kyrie, everyone. And he calls it her. And that video is I love that video. I love the beat. I love the music. Isaac Kyrie is extremely gifted. His whole motivation is from commission. And I mean, it's just I love that. And in the video, it shows, how he was loving her, and they were expecting a baby, and you see her start hemorrhaging, and she loses the baby, and it's devastating to a woman when that happens. And so what he did is he used that moment to give her another feeling, making her feel better. See, one of the greatest things I've ever learned about being in a relationship was understanding the power that I have to make my wife feel a certain kind of way. I know I can make her day, I can break her day, just by certain things that I do. Just like our anniversary is coming up. November the 6th is our anniversary. And I said, in my mind, I said, nothing wrong. No, we ain't, at odds and none of that stuff. Actually, things are very good. Very, very good. Very, very, very good.
Very good.
And wow, that's the first time you see it. Oh, John, that Isaac Kyrie that guy's really good. So for our anniversary, we just gonna hop a plane. We're gonna go down to Miami, and we're gonna have dinner in Miami, and we're gonna stay at the hotel in Miami. Then we're gonna get up. We're gonna fly down Friday. Gonna have dinner in Miami, in South Beach. We're just gonna have a good time. Then have breakfast Saturday morning, and then I'm gonna take my jeweler is in Miami, and I told her what I'm gonna do is we're gonna see my jeweler, and I said time for you to get some new hardware. We're gonna upgrade your hardware, and you see that smile right there? See that smile right there? That is why you if you learn how to do that, and let me be clear, if she smiles better for the camera than she does for you, then it's a problem. Y'all hear me? Are y'all listening to me? If your mate is smiling better for the public than they do for you, your relationship is in trouble. I'm never going to lose that smile to the street. No, that smile is reserved for me. And you all just get the residue of everything that I put in to make her smile. Because I'm not going to lose her smile to the world. No. The world is going to be the audience as I make her smile. That's how that works.
That is so unfair.
Do you think I care?
So
I do not care. Listen, everybody outside of this house, listen to the theology of this. Everybody that's outside of this house is in competition to this. Everybody is in competition with this. So I don't compete against my wife. I compete with my wife against the world. Are y'all listening to me? I don't allow nobody. Are y'all maybe if I see it this way, I don't let nobody come in and disrupt my home. This is my girl. And nobody is going to come in and going to bamboozle my relationship. Nobody. Especially when I myself was the bamboozler at one time.
See, the thing is, I just want to say this to anyone out there that may be considering marriage. It doesn't take a lot for my husband to get me to smile. I look forward to the small things, the little things that he does. But it's another place that you get to in your relationship where one tries to outdo the a bad way. So with Bishop just giving me the surprise today about us going to Florida, now that makes me want to do something even bigger for him. Not that I have to, not that I'm in competition, but I just want to make him just as happy as he makes me. And it doesn't matter what it is. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing at all that I wouldn't do for my husband. So everything that he does, I try to go a little bit above and, and beyond. So it's a constant game and it's fun. And I love it. It keeps things spicy. He doesn't know what I'm planning to do.
And she never knows what I'm going to
I
do.
never know. He's absolutely right.
I am about as predictable as Donald Trump.
That was funny.
Boy, that hit the Saints. That hit the Saints.
So let me say this, Bishop. I was thinking today as I was driving home about some of the love stories in the Bible, and I think the closest thing that I could come up with was a story of Jacob and Rachel. How long it took for him to work to get Rachel. And to me, that says a lot. You want a husband or a mate that's going to do whatever it takes to get you and to keep you, because he worked a very long time to get Rachel. And the Bible said it seemed like it wasn't but a few days. And whenever you really, really love somebody and you put in the work, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you're going to put in the work to keep them. You're going to put in the work so that they'll know that they're first and nothing else matters, and that you're always keeping them first. It doesn't matter what other responsibilities you have. You want somebody that's going to put in the work. He put in 14 years. 14 years to get Rachel.
To get the girl that he wanted.
14 years. That's a long time.
Just to get what you really wanted. So do we have that type of chase in us? Do we have a 14-year chase?
I believe that we start out that way, but then life happens and we just kind of let things fall by the wayside.
Okay, let's talk about that. All right, so John said, my biggest problem is keep it 100. What you want and mean what you say. Okay. Do what you want. Okay. All right. So here's another thing, just to speak on that. Now I'm going to talk about life. You can't expect your mate to meet your need when you fantasize what that need is.
That's good.
If you're not going to be truthful, how do you expect them to be able to meet that need? And then he said, Bishop, we can't do 90 days, now 14 years. So you may have to elaborate on that one. You got to give me some clarity on that. If we're not honest now, and let me preface by saying this. Don't ask for honesty if you know you can't handle it. Don't ask. Don't ask for the person to really tell you how they really feel if you're not ready to hear how they really feel. You'd be better off just saying, I know that you may not feel a certain way, and we're going to try to work our way through it. Because sometimes if you ask too many questions, you're going to get too many answers. Yeah. And sometimes them answers may be a little bit too big for your britches. So then Lady Tracy says, that's for people in the back. You are funny. Then Sharetta says, absolutely. Too many, it's almost like people just want, they almost like they live in their own fantasy. They live in their own reality. But then when you come along with your stick pin and you pop the balloon and say, hello, here's the reality. This ain't what you tend to think that it is.
Yeah.
And maybe And maybe the reason why the relationship is going the way it's going is because the expectation of what relationship is pretty much the difference between a black and white TV and an 8K television now. Because some people have a real ambition of what they really want a relationship to be.
Mhm.
And some folk just got this old Mayberry approach, and that's all that they know. And if they never ever really had a discussion to really talk about what a real relationship or good relationship looks like, you got two people in one marriage, but they living in two worlds.
Yes.
They living in totally two worlds. There's some people who I know individuals who are almost scared to make lots of money. They really are scared because they come out of the old traditional church that made them feel like having a lot of money was sin. And you can send your money in care of, because I ain't scared. Ha ta 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 ta. I'm not nervous. Not at all. Not at all. So John says we can't wait for a woman when she hold out for 90 days in 14 years. Are you saying that she, in terms of interacting, she's making you wait? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm trying to understand what you're saying there. I want to understand that. Now, I will say this too. That whole, I'm not going to give them none. Okay, you can play that game if you want. Just keep this in mind, ladies. Just keep this in mind. Only one of us has a cycle. Only one of us. God only gave one of us a cycle. Now, men can go through periods where you think that they are on a cycle. But in all fairness, only one of us is going through a change in our bodies that prohibits that type of interaction. With him, there is at no time that he is not ready. So if you are experiencing a man, and this is leading into this narrative about life, if you are experiencing a man that when you touch him or you stroke him and he don't respond, something's wrong. Something's wrong either with him physically, mentally, or he's being touched by somebody else.
Yes.
Okay? Because we got to get to the real issue of certain things that are going on. And I will also say, men and women, I can only speak to the man part. Thank you, Jesus. I'm 100% Purdue man, cut from the cloth. If once you start gaining weight, once you start contracting certain diseases, certain ailments, you start taking certain medication, it is messing with your testosterone. It is messing with your hormone. It is messing with your mind. And all of those things are taking away what helps to make her feel some kind of way. She then is dealing with, as they get older, menopause.
Yes, menopause, hormonal changes, and women. If you get to the point where you're not feeling your mate, your husband wants to be with you, and you just don't want it, a conversation needs to take place. And if you need to go to talk to somebody, I think you should do that. But the
If
first
you
person
need
that
to
you
go
should,
to talk to somebody, then
you should do
doggone
that.
it, go talk to somebody.
Because our bodies go through changes, and there will come a point at some time, that you may not feel like being intimate. You may not feel, you just may not feel like yourself. What?
I haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Stop it. So you may not feel like yourself. You may not feel good about yourself, and it's nothing.
Hold. So I'm glad you said that. When a woman doesn't feel good about herself, it has nothing to do with the hormonal issues that are going on in the body. When she does not feel good about herself, and when a part of her not feeling good about herself, you are contributing to, it creates a disconnect. With women, there has to be a connection, a feeling. They want to feel a certain type of way. If you are the reason why she's not feeling it, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. There's not going to be, you could basically come in butt naked. She ain't budging because you are the reason why
She's
she
feeling
doesn't
some kind of
feel,
way.
she
Yes.
doesn't feel good. You just, if we're already, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me very carefully. If we're already battling that thing called time, we've got to do everything we can to fight time, because there's going to come a time when the other part that we do in the relationship is not going to be as it was.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really build other areas of your life so you have something to hold on to. You cannot build it just off of sex,
You cannot.
because at some point, everything that was once working at one level is not going to be working like that when you get older, especially if you're not doing what it takes to keep it working.
That's true.
Ha ta ta ta.
That's
You
true.
you gotta listen. When you were young, it was nothing. You was a bull. It was nothing. As you get older, now, Negro, do some sit-ups, walk, something. You got to do something, because as you're putting on that weight, it is affecting you. It's affecting you. And I don't care what you think. I don't care if you're spiritual. I don't care if you prophesy. I don't care if you can sing, dance. I wouldn't care if you do the James Brown and the Michael Jackson when the praise come on. I don't care what you do. I'm going to tell you right now, all of that don't mean nothing when y'all get home. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean anything. Nothing. She does not want your prophecy. She wants your privacy.
Absolutely. Lady Tracy, I agree with you. That's why I say I'm speaking just from a woman's perspective, when we have things going on in our bodies, and sometimes we may not want to be touched, or we may not want to have sex at that moment. You have to learn, or it's up to your spouse to be understanding after the conversation has taken place, to do other things, to be affectionate, hug me, hold me, kiss me, something else. If you're not in the mood, but you have to be understanding about that.
Because I don't know if they know this, but post the cycle is during those moments that she is hormonally higher at that time. Now I'm trying to be PG. Now I'm trying to be nice. Don't make me have to come out from the bishopric, because
No, you're not going to come out from it.
I can come way out. I could come way out, and we can have a real engaging conversation. Put all your kids out the room. You at right before her cycle and right after, that drive kicks in. It kicks in. But if you are so disconnected that I'm so connected to my wife. I know when that time comes. And let me also say this, because we don't get familiar. I don't find sanitary products all over the place. She doesn't do that. And we've been together for 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. I've never had to walk into a situation and because something was left behind.
I would hope that any adult that's in a relationship wouldn't have to deal with
Don't
that.
fool yourself.
I'm sure, but
Don't fool yourself, sweetheart. Don't fool yourself. So Lady Tracy said yes. And during that hormonal change, honey, it's a strong time for us women, if you know what I mean. I'm not a woman, but I know what you mean. Then John said, so tell me, if you and your mate are not on the same page, why should I feel like I need to keep up my part of the relationship? Well, because John, at some point, here's what needs to happen. If y'all are not on the same page, okay, then listen to me very carefully. At some point, you're going to have to make a decision, because you cannot have a strong investment to everything else and then put your marriage on the back burner.
you cannot.
No, you can't do that, because at some point she's watching everything that happens.
Or he's watching.
And he's watching everything that happens. So if you have a greater emphasis on everything else, and then the marriage comes after the fact, how do you expect somebody to want to be in the relationship with you? You don't even make the marriage a priority. You make the marriage secondary. Everything comes before your marriage. Your mama comes before your marriage. Your children come before your marriage. Your daddy come before your marriage. Your job comes before your marriage. Everything comes before the marriage. And then when it don't work, do you wonder why it don't work? Well, you don't put it first. You don't put it first.
And sometimes I must say you may have to put in more of an investment in the beginning to make it work.
It's Love Chronicles.
It comes down
Chronicles.
to a decision.
It's Love Chronicles.
Either you're going to do it or you're not. But one person has to make the decision. And a lot of times, one person maybe initially may have to go a little above and beyond investment-wise, for the relationship to thrive.
Look here.
And but I guarantee you, if you make the investment later on down the road, you'll look back and it will be one of the best
investments you ever
that
made.
you've ever made, hands
and I'm gonna tell you why it's the best investment, because there is no greater investment than to be able to get up every day of your life, and there is a sense of joy and satisfaction that you ain't got to go looking for, but you wake up with it every day of your life. I'm preaching.
And sometimes that investment means you have to do things even when you're not feeling your mate and you don't want to do it. You have to get beyond your feelings and get out of your emotions. Just like you make up your mind every day, I got to get up and go to work, because if I don't go to work, I'm not going to get paid. If I don't put in effort and get up every day and make a conscious decision that I want my marriage to work, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to work, even if it means I have to go that extra mile to make it work, I'm going to do it, because if I don't, my marriage is going to fail.
And with the same, you get up and go to work, you don't feel like it. You go deal with your raggedy family because you don't feel like it, but you go. But then you put your
raggedy family.
I didn't say our raggedy family.
No, okay, go ahead.
I didn't say our raggedy family. Not because our family ain't raggedy.
Our family is not raggedy.
We got great family. We got great family. Great family. Now, everybody can't say that. But we have great family.
Yes, we do.
We have great family. We trying to figure out now for our family in South Carolina. We are trying to figure out how we're going to get down there. We haven't been down. We got to get down. We're trying to figure it out. We're working something out now. We're going to try to get down there. But if everything else is a priority, and then you try to squeeze in trying to make your relationship work, well, there is problem number one right there. There is a major problem with that right there. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because why is everything else more important? Why is everything else? Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's dig a little deeper. Let's go a little further. What attracted you is no longer an attraction. And some of us now need to be honest when we say, baby, I love you. I love you too.
That's just as dry as...
I mean, I think I need to get something to drink. Just doing the illustration, that just made my throat dry. Just made my throat dry.
And you can't give a response like that and expect anybody to feel any type of way, because it doesn't feel genuine. You show more emotions while you're at work.
You talk about work.
Or the football game.
You talk about the girl and stuff that at work, and you don't even talk about her like that. Oh, you cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You can't be serious. You can't. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. At some point, how you feel about everything else, you better be putting that level of energy into your mate. You better put that energy in your mate. I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you.
Even when there are things that you do not like. And that can be a tough place. But that comes along with maturity as well.
Oh, so are you trying to say that relationship ain't for children?
Absolutely not.
Ain't for babies.
Not for babies. It is not.
It's a grown folk world.
Absolutely.
Well, then there could be problem number one, because some folks have not grown up yet. Hallelujah. You ain't grow up yet. Just like, they always say, men always cheat. Boys cheat. When we're in that boyish stage, when I don't care about nothing else, it's just about me. That's an immature place. And it happens. It happens in women. They just choose, this is what I'm gonna do. But then at some point, you got to mature. You have to grow up, and you got to address the issue in you that makes you do what you do. You have to address that. Sometimes you have to address the fact that there are old loves that fires are still burning in your life.
Wow.
Let me help somebody. Let me help someone. Let me really help someone. Because I'm going to say something, and this is going, y'all strap up. Y'all strap up. Now I'm theological, so I'm gonna make it fit. I'm gonna make it work.
All right.
But this is going to shake some folks. So y'all get ready. I don't know how they're going to take it, but they're going to be okay, because I'm going to help them. You can love more than one person. And you can be in love with more than one person. Now, the question is it legal and is it right for you to love two people? That is the question. See, you are made in the image of God. That inept ability to love people, that's in you. God made you that way. But here's what I've had to learn over time. God does not love everyone equally. Oh, ooh, that's gonna mess up some folks' minds. That's gonna mess up some folks' mind. That's gonna mess up some folks' mind. But let me help you. Let me prove to you what I'm saying. When in John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Mm-hmm. At that moment, God was making a distinction to say that in order for the world to be saved, I must at that very moment have a universal love. I'm going to love everybody, no matter what state that they're in.
That's right.
I'm going after them. But as we get to the second advent, for those of you that are not in church, the second advent is the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. The first time he came to redeem the world. The second time he comes, he's going to redeem his people. Mm-hmm. The first time he came to redeem the world out of sin. The second time he comes, he will come to redeem the people that have accepted him. Watch this psychology and theology. The first time, God makes a distinction to say, I'm going to save the entire world because the world is doomed. So I'm going to send my son, and he's going to redeem everyone so that they have the opportunity to come to me. But in order for you to come to me, you must choose me.
That's right.
And you must accept me.
Mm-hmm.
In that accepting, I then will accept you. The second advent has everything to do with an acceptance and the walking out of what you have accepted. You cannot say that you've accepted it and don't walk in the evidence of what you have accepted. I'm preaching. And a part of the problem that we are seeing in church, and even in the expression of relationship, you say that you accept her, but then you don't prove the level of your acceptance.
That's good. That's good.
And then you want her to feel some kind of way, but even God ain't gonna feel that kind of way because you say that you love God with your mouth, but your heart is far from me.
Yes.
And in your relationship, he knows that you are only talking from your mouth. Your heart don't prove what your mouth is saying.
Come on. That's good.
And you ain't winning nobody like that. You ain't winning nobody like that. I'm sorry to tell you. And as a matter of fact, the worst thing that can happen is for you to walk around here and you keep telling me that you love me, and you keep telling me that you're going to do this, and you keep telling me that it's going to be this, and you keep telling me that, and you keep telling me, and you keep telling me, but your heart is proving that what you saying don't match what your mouth is saying. And at some point, I'm sick of your mouth and I'm sick of your heart.
Wow.
Which is exactly where God is. Because when he comes, if in fact God so much loved the world as the way that those who say that God, he's just going to save everybody, then how come he makes a clear distinction that when he comes back, he's coming back for the distinction of a people that chose him and walk out the level of that choosing. If you don't do those things, you can say all you want that you going with God. You gonna get left. Just like most of y'all walk around here in these relationships thinking that the mate's gonna be there just because you keep trying to tell them that I love you and I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna do this, and then you don't do nothing, you don't produce nothing, and your heart don't manifest what your mouth keeps saying. You gonna wake up one day and they ain't gonna be there, and you gonna wonder, well, where they at? Well, they gonna be in another heaven.
Okay.
They gonna be in another heaven, and you gonna be stuck right where you at asking, well, what happened? What happened? Why you leave? Because you left with your heart long time ago.
Yeah.
I did what your heart did long time ago.
Wow.
That's all. That's all. You've had the benefit of checking out. Well, now I'm checking out.
Yeah.
It's just that my checkout is a little bit more deeper than yours.
Yeah. And I would say this, you have to be very careful in your relationship whenever, you know how your individual relationship works. And when you start noticing your mate is not doing certain things, especially if it goes on for an extended period of time, you better be careful because they may be there physically, but mentally they may be checked out. And once they check out mentally, it's only a matter of time if you don't pick it up that they're going to walk out the door.
Out the door.
After all the indicators have been there, you
Out the
fail
door.
to realize it. They're going to eventually end up walking out the door.
We gotta take another commercial here. Got to take another commercial. But again, because I love music. I love music. And for those of you that didn't come on early, I said I love music. And love songs do it for me. And I like love songs that make me think about how I love my wife. I love it. So here's what we're going to do. I pray. Is this blessing y'all? I hope this is blessing. If this is blessing y'all, give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. Let's, tell us something. Is it helping you? I hope I saw some folks tag some folks. I'm hoping that, this is helping y'all. Y'all engage, because we got this terrible habit of not engaging. I want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do. We gotta make sure that the love is good. Gotta make sure that love is good. And here's another thing too. At some point in the love that we have, stop trying to make your love fit in everybody else's mind. Can we stop that? Everybody's love don't have to fit your order. I'm not trying to make my wife and I fit into your perception of what marriage is, because y'all don't live here. Y'all don't pay no bills here.
And that's a dangerous thing to do, and to look at others' relationship, because you never know what the two individuals had to deal with to get to the place that they are. I'd never look at anybody's relationship and say, wow, they have a really good relationship. I wish our relationship was like that. Well, I'm happy with my relationship and my choice. I am. And I don't look to anybody else for approval. I don't look at anybody else's relationship to gauge where my husband and I are.
Can I honestly say that at some point I had to be honest and say, and this is going to hit some folk in the gut. This is going to hit you in the gut. But at some point I had to admit, I can expect my wife, although she never said it, and although she never approached me in this way, but I had to say to myself, I looked at a photo of when we first met, because maybe about a month or so after we started dating, we took photos. And we took the photos. I looked at those photos. When I looked at the photo, I said, wow, I'm a whole lot bigger now.
I am too.
And at some point, if you're not going to really be gutly honest with yourself, then it's going to be real hard for you to expect somebody else to be honest to you because you ain't honest with yourself. Glad to be honest and say, wow, I'm really a lot bigger. And I remember when I was buying, lingerie and all this stuff for you, and you would like it and you'd smile and you put it right in the closet.
But I wouldn't wear it. And I wouldn't wear it because I didn't feel good about myself. He didn't have a problem with me wearing it, but I didn't like how I looked in it. And no
So,
matter how much he praised me and complimented me, it still wasn't enough because it was something internal that I had to address.
so listen, y'all. Now, listen, say that again, because I need people that are really going through some serious issues in relationship. I really want you to understand that there are some moments and things that are going on in relationship that don't have nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with an internal dissatisfaction that's unresolved. Say that again.
So it didn't matter how much he complimented me or how much he praised me in it. It didn't make a difference because there were internal things that I was not happy about and that I knew that I needed to deal with. And it wasn't until I started making the necessary changes to myself that I began to feel a certain way in those garments that he was buying me. So it wasn't him, and he didn't make a fuss about it. He accepted what I told him and was understanding, but it had nothing at all to do with him.
It was shocking to me because I thought I didn't see anything wrong. So I want you to catch this revelation. I didn't see anything wrong, but what I saw didn't match what she knew and what she saw about herself. So it made her have reservations within herself. Sometimes the relationship has encountered internal dissatisfaction and it's prohibiting the type of continuity in the relationship that really makes the relationship good.
And I want to say this real quick. So I would say this to husbands out there. So whenever your wives, whenever they're feeling some kind of way and things that you may like to see them in, continue to compliment them. Don't call them fat. Continue to be supportive.
Yeah, you ain't getting nothing like that.
You're not, but continue to be supportive of her while she works out her internal issues. And by you doing that, even with, when I told my husband that, it made me feel some kind of way. I knew, that he liked seeing me in those things, but it helped me in a sense to know that, okay, although I may be feeling this kind of way, he still loves me. It doesn't matter how I look
But can I say this? Because I want y'all to,
or how I feel I look.
because
He
this is
still
all right.
loves
So
me.
this is Love Chronicles, right? This is Love Chronicles. I always have loved you, but the smaller you, I love better.
Yes. Yes. But I have to say, I knew that, but you didn't make me feel any
Didn't make her feel no
different.
kind of way,
Because I gained
but
a lot of weight and he would still love on me. And there were times when it was kind of awkward. I could feel it. I knew it. Both of us had put on weight, but he still didn't
we
give me.
big.
Yes, we were big, but at not one time did I ever see him when we were out looking at, of course, men and women will look, but I still felt like I was the apple of his eye, even when I was 235 pounds. 235 pounds, he still made me feel the same. He still looked at me the same.
And at 259 pounds. And it's Love Chronicles. It's right there. It's Love Chronicles. It is it's trying to negotiate changes and things that have happened that at times we try to blow it off like it don't matter, but it does matter. It matters. And the longer you keep pretending like it don't matter, you're really causing issues in the relationship.
And can I say this?
You can say this.
And when I was that big, there was an urgency in me. You didn't know it, but I was thinking, okay, I got to get this weight off of me. I don't like the way I feel. I don't like him looking at me like this. I mean, there was a really burning desire for me to get the weight off. It was a struggle. And I went through a lot internally, but there was something, I mean, really burning inside of me. I had to get the weight off. I had to. And it wasn't for you, but it was for me. And I knew that you would look at me differently.
Sure. Listen, we supposed to go to commercial.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, somehow we didn't got past the commercial. But you can do that when it's your show. You can do that. You ain't got to worry about the producers talking about, we got to pay bills, all of that stuff. It's your show, so we can do whatever we want. All right. So listen, prayerfully, this is really good to you. Again, if you haven't tagged somebody, tag somebody, and let them know that the two-way talk show of the Love Center midweek is on, and we are talking Love Chronicles with First Lady and myself, and we're going to come right back. I'm going to do something that is probably as close to, it's probably close to sin as.
What are you going to do?
Because I'm trying to get people, because in the perspective of love, the danger is most of us that are Christian now loved better when we were not Christian. We had a greater sense of love than we do now as Christians. We explored better.
That's true.
When we were not Christian. And so there's another song. We're gonna go to break, and that'll give y'all a chance to go and get some water, whatever you're gonna do. Y'all probably done did that, and we gonna go get something to drink, and go come right back. But I wanna play this because this is another song. This ain't gospel. And again, if you holy, if you are you that deep, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. And please, preacher, bishop, apostle, prophet, pastor, evangelist, teacher, elder, deacon, missionary, whatever your title is, you come for me if you want to, but I'm gonna embarrass you. Don't try to come and philosophize to me or come talk to me about God, because then I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna say, well, then explain to me why that in the expression of worship, how come in this age of church, why is it that we are so stuck on praise and we don't have a more deeper conviction for worship? Because we like the pretense of the interaction, but the worship reveals the genuineness of who you are. And the reason why your relationship is the way that it is because you enjoy all of the makeup of what it is to be in a relationship. But when it comes time for y'all to be genuinely intimate, you reserve yourself from there because you don't want to come out and be honest. Worship is really honesty between you and the individual that you are worshiping and or connected to. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Until you can preach the Song of Solomon, don't come to me. Until you can explain to me in the poetic book why there is a book there that is not mentioned of Jesus, but yet the book is there and it has more of an emphasis to the worship experience than most of the other 65 books of the Bible. Until you can explain that to me, don't come for me. Don't come for me. Until your wife smiles like my wife smiles, don't come for me. Don't come for me. So we're going to be right back. I'm going to play this. Y'all come on back. and we're going to go a little further. This is the two-way talk. Bishop Tyrone, Lady Savannah. We'll be right back.
If I had it my way, you would know that you are. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, oh, you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part.
Is this sunrise and those brown eyes? Yes, you're the one that I desire. When we wake up and then we make love, it makes me feel so nice. You're my water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the Tylenol I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine of my life. I just wanna see how beautiful you are. You know that I see it. I know you're a star. Where you go, I'll follow, no matter how far. If life is a movie, then you're the best part. Oh, you're the best part. Oh, best part. If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? Love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you? If you love me, won't you say something? If you love me, won't you?
If you love me,
Won't you say something?
just say something.
Something.
Just say something. Just say something. Just say something. I'm gonna tell you something. When I first heard that song, that thing caught me by it. First of all, when I looked at the guy that was singing it, I was like, "Wow, wasn't expecting that."
You were wrong.
Like, whoa! And don't none of y'all act like that. Y'all thought that he was gonna look like that when y'all saw him singing it. Don't y'all dare sit out there and act like that. Y'all know that he Don't y'all do that. But that thing, it caught my attention. And the verse, I think the verse of that song that just catches everybody is when he says, "You are the Tylenol I take
When my head hurts.
when my head hurts."
Oh, yes.
Listen, I had to stop and like say that again. And stop and say that one more time. Like, wow, that now let me tell you something. That's when you in love. That's when you're in love. And you know what I've learned over time?
What's that?
I think because of an accumulation of mistakes. Now I'm talking broad. I think what has happened, many of us are now afraid to fall in love for the fear of heartbreak, letdown. Some of us don't want to let our guard down because we've experienced so much. And in the experiences that we have had, it has created this mold that some of us aren't exactly happy with who we have become.
Mhm.
And really we hide behind a lot of the things that we do. Many of my colleagues in ministry, the reason why they have such vigor when it comes to their church and doing ministry and all of those things, because it helps them to not face the husband that they know that they've not been, the father that they know that they've not been. And sometimes in the relationship, there are things that have happened that they know that they're wrong. It's not, the issue isn't that they don't know that they're wrong. The issue is, but many of them really don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to fix it. And then in some cases, trying to fix it made it worse. I one of my colleagues, he was talking, we were just having a discussion, and he was being very open about really about the dysfunction of his relationship. And he said, I can honestly say that my parents, unfortunately, I love my mother, I love my father, but they were not the greatest picture and the greatest education for me about relationship. They actually contributed to a lot of my dysfunction.
Wow.
And it's hard when deep down in your heart, you really want to do right. But as Paul said, but when I wanted to do good, evil was in me.
Yeah.
And at times I feel bad for many of my colleagues because I know their relationships have plateaued. Like if the greatest ambition, if love and relationship was a scale and 10 was the highest you could get to, many of my colleagues, unfortunately, because of the things that have happened in their relationship, they pretty much have plateaued at 6. They know it's never going to go higher than a 6. They know it. They know it. And they hide behind preaching, church, business, job, all of these other things because they know I already know this is where it's going to be. I already know that. They know it. The relationship has become nothing more than mechanics. We do enough to show the world that we're still together.
But it
But
takes more to do that than it does to
it,
work on
it
your
does.
relationship. It
I
takes more
agree.
energy to do that.
But here's some of the things that I see. Sometimes the man is just, he's so full of pride that he don't want to seek advice to get somebody to come in to help him to break this thing in him, to help him with the relationship. Sometimes she's just so hurt that her view of it is, you know what, this is a wash.
Yeah, that, or either she doesn't feel like she had a good support system that she could go and confide in.
Which is the other part too. Um, it's hard. It's hard when you're going through a tough place, but you don't have as tough of a place as you're going through. You don't have a safer place
Yes.
where you can confide
Yeah.
and talk and I want to say to all of you all that are really you're some of you have kind of fallen off into a neutral in your relationship. It's just, it ain't good, it ain't bad, it's just we here. I really want to say to you that what really needs to happen, y'all need to just sit down, just grab hands and just say, you know what, we have both done some things and neither one of us are happy about what we've done. We neither one of us are happy about what we've said. And let's can we just start over? And in starting over, listen to me careful. Starting over means don't wake up the next day doing the exact same thing that you was doing the day before, because that ain't a start over.
That's not.
That ain't a start over. A start over means, number one, you sit down and you look at the good that brought y'all together. You start there. Look at the good that brought y'all together. What was that thing that made y'all come together?
And then you begin to talk about the things that slowly made you all drift apart, so that you know what to do to keep yourself from going down that path again.
And take your time. Don't try. Don't take the whole trash can and just dump it on the table and say, all right, and this right here, and this right here, and this, and then this, and then, because after a while, y'all gonna be at each other's throat, because it's gonna be a whole table full of junk, and y'all not gonna be able to really in a healthy way, really kind of ease into a place where y'all can get back together. Now, here's another truth, and I hope y'all ready for this. Sometimes the best thing for y'all to do is to go y'all separate way. Because one, the perspective of what relationship in the minds of both of the individuals are totally different. Y'all are in two totally different worlds. And if you are in totally two different worlds, totally different concepts, thinking, and it is much harder when you are older trying to hit the reset button on the conceptual thought of what relationship is, because now you're older, and when you're older, you're more set in your way. And it's much more difficult for you to make change. And if after having gone to counsel, and listen to me careful, there are times when I'm so sorry, you need to go to somebody more than your pastor. Let me say it again. There are times when you need to go to somebody else other than your pastor. You need to go and let someone who psychologically can really get to the root of certain things that are going on, because sometimes there are things that are much more deeper that have to be discussed, and you ain't gonna speak in tongues and dance your way out of it. As a matter of fact, some of the real issue that is going on is that you refuse to get counseling to deal with the real issues that are going on in you. You have now created this systematic thing that you call life, and you expect everybody to go along with the way that you see life. Now, I will say, every relationship has its own fingerprints. But I've seen some stuff that in the name of relationship, I'm like, them jokers need to get some help.
Yeah.
They need to get some help. Seriously. Because that ain't even healthy. Even though it's their own relationship and we can't, it's what they do, but that's still very unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's very unhealthy. So, one, I really want you all to take away from this that there's some things you just gonna really need to get counseling. There are times when you have really just reached a total divide, and it may not work. I hate that. I'm like God. I hate divorce. God hates divorce. But you're not going to go to hell because you divorced. So let me say that. You're not going to go to hell. Mm-mm. There are other things that come outside of divorce that will become an issue. But if the relationship doesn't work, you won't go to hell. But there are times when it is preventable, but you really have to do what it takes to prevent it. And you have to really seek that.
And you know what, even, what you were saying about two individuals being in two different places, different thoughts. I still believe that even in those type situations that God can still move and turn things around.
God can move.
But you must be
Yes.
willing to make the changes, in order for your relationship to work. You must be willing to surround yourself with the right people and seek godly counsel.
Absolutely.
It can work.
It can.
It can be very
It can.
a very tough road, but it certainly can work.
Well, I think what also has to be considered, it didn't get that way overnight, and you're not going to fix it overnight. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. It really is. And I agree, because Lady Tracy was saying, and you have to have the mindset to do it. You do. You really do.
Both of you have, yeah.
Yeah, it
Both
has to be a
parties have
decision.
to have
It has
the
to be a
mindset
decision.
to do it.
It has to be a decision. So listen, it's 9:00. I wanted to end at 9, but I didn't open up the floor. I want to open up the floor, and I want to give you all opportunity if you want to ask some questions, if you have some statements. We've been engaging. There's been a lot of engagement, but if you have some questions that you want us to answer, we would love to. If you want to come on, if you're on your phone and you just want to pop on real quick and you want to say something, say hi or give a comment, we'll pull you on real quick, let you say something. If you get crazy, I'm gonna cut you off. You get crazy, I'm gonna cut you off. That's the power of production. I brought you in the world and I can take you out.
You're so not right.
But I'm gonna do this for about just this next couple of minutes, and then if we don't get anything, then I'm just gonna say, hey, I think that folks is just full, and they may just need to sit on it a little bit and just kind of enjoy what happened on tonight. Um, I really pray. I really pray that this has been good to you all. I really do. Um, I'm not going to try to say it all in this session because there's a whole lot more I can say. But I want to leave some room for, for some other stuff that we're going to do. Because we got a whole month that we gotta cover here, and I don't want to try to do it all in one time. So I pray that this is really ministering to you and helping you. If it is, let us know. Let us know. Just give us some hearts. Give us some thumbs up. And just let me know. Let me know if this is really blessing you and it's helping you. If you brought somebody into the chat, let us know, because we certainly want to know. So Lady Tracy said, I think you have answered all my questions. Well, thanks be to God. How about that? My question was, what if you're mentally tapped out, but you answered that. So thank you. Yeah. There was at one time in my place of preaching, I just, like, y'all got married. You ain't getting no divorce. That ain't God. Well, as I started to go more beyond the surface of the word, I started to discover there was a reason why he said he hate divorce. He didn't say, I don't permit divorce. He said, I hate it. The reason why he hates it is because he hates separation. He hates the separation. He hates the disconnection. But there are moments when it has to happen. That's why the scripture says to follow peace with all men.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
It also said in marriage that if the unbelieving spouse should leave, then allow them to leave. To follow peace with all men. There are times when it is permitted. It just doesn't work. And you do all that you can, and it just doesn't work. And there's really nothing you can do because you've done all you can. And you get to that place. And there is life after divorce. There is life after. And you have to approach it the right way. And then that's a whole nother conversation. Especially that there'll be a time when we're going to talk about blended families. What does that look like? How does that work? The effort that needs to go into that. And there's certain things that you really have to do in that. So there's a lot of work that needs to go into that. So there's no other questions. That was the only thing that I answered. We satisfied Lady Tracy. You satisfied? She's happy. We were able to answer her questions. Anybody else? Anybody want to say anything? You want to comment? If you don't have anything, then we go in. Baby, it was good to have you back, girl.
I know it felt good to be back.
Good to have you back here. You can't take that long of time away. That ain't cool. It ain't cool. I don't like that. I don't like either we go away together or we just stay right here. Stay. Let's stay together. Listen, Sunday morning, we will be right back here at 10 a.m. for the Love Center virtual experience. We would love to have you. Those of you that came on for the first time, we pray that you enjoyed this session. We're going to be right back here next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We're going to be right back here, 7 o'clock for this time of our two-way call. Two-way talk. We affectionately call it Love Chronicles. And this gives you an opportunity where we can talk about love and family and all that stuff. We're gonna talk about that, children and things like that. We're gonna talk about that. How do you keep the flame burning when you got a house full of kids? How do you do that? I'll tell you my secrets. So I pray that this really has blessed you. It has been an absolute joy being with you all on tonight. And we're going to be right back here next Wednesday for our two-way talk. And next Sunday, we're going to be right here, 10 a.m. for the Love Center virtual experience.
And I want to say to those that are watching, if you have some questions that you want to ask that you may not necessarily feel comfortable with putting in the chat, feel free to email them to us at onelovecenter@gmail.com, and we will address them on our next show.
Okay, that's good. I didn't think about that. That could be the issue, because this is more of an open forum, and you may want to be more private about your question. And for you may be a preacher, you may be a pastor. Just know that you will be kept in confidence. There's already a bunch of stuff I know right now, and God forbid if I ever decide to go rogue, some preachers would have to leave this state. Some of them would have to go home to glory, because there would be nowhere safe for them to be at. So listen, we have enjoyed being with you all on tonight. This is Bishop Tyrone Smith. This is my wife, Lady Savannah. We have thoroughly enjoyed being with you all on tonight. Now, let me say this. If you come back to view this recording, I know for a fact Facebook is going to mute the videos that were played, because you can put all of the statements that you don't own the music and all of that stuff. It does not matter. The fact that you're playing it, they don't know if you gotten any kind of compensation or anything, although we're not getting any money for any of this that was played. It was just so that it was for entertainment only. We made that clear in our disclosure as you are reading it right there on the page, but it doesn't matter. Facebook is still going to block it. So if you're viewing it, what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to fast forward past the song, and then you'll be able to get back to the conversation, because that part they won't mute out. All right. So again, we thank you so much for joining us on tonight. We want everybody to have a wonderful week. Stay safe. COVID-19 is still there. Please, please, please be careful. We're going to leave y'all with a song. We want this to minister to you. This guy, years ago, I was a teenager, and this song just, man, the dude could sing. And he, to me, at that time when I was young, they had this thing called metrosexual, clean cut and, well dressed, we don't know what that is now. But that's what I like. And I still model myself after that. So we're going to leave you with a little Keith Washington, and let this minister to you. And again, if you wonder, yes, this is Bishop Tyrone. Yes, this is Lady Savannah. This is how I live my life when I'm at home. I do not play gospel all day long. I play love songs because I want something that's going to help me to love my girl. So y'all have a great one. I look forward to seeing y'all real soon. Y'all take care. Oh, before I leave, to our family in South Carolina, we just want y'all to know we love y'all. We love y'all.
Yes,
we love you.
Do.
We appreciate y'all so very much. We trying to figure out how we're gonna get down there. Y'all pray. We trying to figure out how we're gonna get down there, but we're gonna get down there real soon. All right. Y'all take care. Talk to you soon.
Thinking of you, that's all I seem to do. When you're not here, I long to hold you near. Baby, this time together we must spend. Holding you close, taking time to let you know. Tonight's the night we will share. Turn off the lights, come close to me. Tell me I'm all you ever need. Tell me it's not just a dream. And if it is, my heart believes that you are mine, and this is real. Loving you all through the night. It will be alright. What's better than a love that's made for two? I cannot count the ways I feel for you, but you should know. And starting from today, from this point on, my love is here to stay. Lie close to me, hold on. Let's make our love last all night long. Baby, I'm yours. Take all of me. You're all I need. Oh, loving you all through the night. Tonight is our night. Yeah. Oh, loving you all through the night. It will all turn out right. Tonight's the night we will share. Turn off the lights, come close to me. Tell me I'm all you ever need. Oh, tell me it's not just a dream. And if it is, my heart believes that you are mine. And this is real. This is real. My baby, ooh lady, let me show you that. Let me show you that I love you, baby. Yes, I do. So do it for me, and I'll do it for you, honey. You got me in the mood that I'm in.